Bill O'Reilly here, Thursday, September 12th, 2019. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. The Supreme Court sides with the White House limiting asylum seekers. The Trump administration considers a ban on flavored e-cigarettes. California politicians block school officials from suspending disruptive students. Scientists create rare white rhino embryos to save the species from extinction. Also coming up, the message of the day: who really has a chance to run against President Trump? But first, the Supreme Court siding with the Trump administration on new regulations limiting asylum requests, voting 7-2 to allow the White House to enforce strict limitations on refugees trying to enter the USA. The law requires many migrants to first seek asylum in another country before applying here. This ruling overturns a lower court decision that some saw as political activism from the bench. Liberal Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor dissented, writing, quote, "Once again, the executive branch has issued a rule that seeks to upend long-standing practices regarding refugees who seek shelter from persecution." The Trump administration also considering a ban on flavored e-cigarettes, saying the popular nicotine products are deliberately targeting children, similar to the Joe Camel cigarette cartoons of the early 1990s. At that time, researchers found more children could identify the smoking camel than Mickey Mouse. Liberal California Governor Gavin Newsom signing new legislation banning school officials from suspending students for disruptive behavior. The bill ends suspensions for those 9th grade and under who disrupt school activities or otherwise willfully defy the valid authority of school personnel. Critics say the new law will make it harder for teachers to control their classrooms, and of course that is true. Scientists in Italy confirming they have successfully created 2 embryos of the near-extinct white rhinoceros. There are just 2 of those creatures remaining on Earth, both of them female, and living in captivity. Their fertilized eggs are currently stored in liquid nitrogen. If successfully birthed, the white rhino would be the first species brought back from extinction in the history of the world. In a moment, who will challenge President Trump in 2020? Right back with that. I have been telling you about a first-time buyer in Texas. Now I want to show you the other side. A seller who found an agent on realestateagentsitrust.com. A home seller in a very hot market needed to relocate quickly. Their agent suggested the following steps. 1. Price the home just below similarly priced homes in the area to ensure high demand with multiple offers. 2. Stage the home so that it stood out with great pictures, no clutter, and great curb appeal. 3. Market aggressively to fellow agents, providing a timeline for accepting offers. This created a big sense of urgency for buyers interested in the home. 4. Their agent reviewed the offers quickly, communicated with the owners about the caliber of the offers, strong financing, cash, closing date, so many factors to consider. And 5, after just 3 days on the market, the sellers got 5% over their asking price, and the buyer agreed to pay closing costs. This is why you need a great agent from realestateagentsitrust.com. Get the job done. Get moving. realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Who will challenge President Trump? Tonight in Houston, Texas, 10 Democrats will debate on the ABC television network. Only 2 of them have a real chance to challenge President Trump, at least at this point. The debaters tonight are Senator Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Andrew Wang, Beto O'Rourke, and Julian Castro. The debate moderators will be George Stephanopoulos, David Muir, Lindsay Davis, and Univision anchor Jorge Ramos. And that's interesting. Mr. Ramos is an open border advocate, in addition to doing a news program. So we can expect a lot of those kinds of questions from him. Now, Realistically, if you believe the polling, only Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren have a chance to run against Donald Trump. The other candidates are all way, way back in the polls, with the exception of Bernie Sanders. However, Mr. Sanders' support is pretty much locked in. He says the same thing over and over and over again as he did the last time around in 2016. Also, he's an elderly white guy, and the Democratic Party, even though they are embracing Joe Biden at this point, are very wary of white males at this point. So, Elizabeth Warren, the socialist senator from Massachusetts, is coming up in the polls. Now, I've written a column on Ms. Warren on BillO'Reilly.com entitled The Con, which clearly spells out what would happen if Elizabeth Warren were ever elected president of the United States. Already, the financial press is moaning that capital would flee the USA, and that is likely true. You'll remember that Donald Trump cut corporate tax rates, so capital came back into America, and that spurred the robust economy we've had for the past 2.5 years. Well, the opposite would occur if a socialist like Ms. Warren or Bernie Sanders would obtain power. Companies are not going to pay 40 to 50% in taxes. And individual tax rates could rise to 70%, so you'll see individuals take money out of the country as well. All of that could quite possibly lead to a drastic recession. Now, Joe Biden will be in the spotlight tonight, of course, because there's much criticism of him from the far left. He's too moderate for them. And also, he's made a lot of verbal mistakes. But that's been the case for the former vice president his whole career. If Joe Biden does well tonight in the debate, his poll numbers will increase, and he will be the likely nominee, because none of the others can raise the money or have the profile to overturn Biden's appeal. So really, it's Warren against Biden tonight. Now, tomorrow, I will tell you who the winner of this extravaganza was, and maybe I'll change my opinion. Maybe one of the other Democrats will rise up. That is the message. For more news and commentary, please head on over to BillO'Reilly.com, where you can get a free copy of my upcoming book, The United States of Trump, if you sign up. Coming next, something you might not know. The Amazon Capital One data breach just hit. 106 million of us just had our names, home addresses, banking information exposed. Forget credit card theft. Your far greater risk is home title fraud. Title fraud is rampant because identity thieves figured out the title and mortgage to our homes are kept online. Their big payday comes by forging your name off your home's title. So it appears they own your home. Then they borrow all your equity till it's gone. Forget your insurance, bank, or identity theft program. They don't touch this. Home Title Lock does. And they do it by locking down your home's online title and mortgage. The first 60 days after crimes like the Amazon server Capital One breach are crucial. So I got you 60 risk-free days of Home Title Lock protection. Claim your 60 risk-free days at HomeTitleLock.com and enter your home address to see if you're already a victim. That's HomeTitleLock.com, HomeTitleLock.com. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Food tourism, one of the fastest growing sectors of the entire travel industry. Social scientists say the rise of technology allows people across the planet to virtually visit locations on their devices, their machines. So if you want to see the Vatican, you go to YouTube. But you can't taste anything on the smartphones. So that's one experience technology can never get you. Here's a look at a few countries popular among American tourists and the food the locals are eating. In the United Kingdom, fish and chips remain a daily staple. English residents consume 380 million portions of fish and French fries, that's what they call chips over in England, every year. 6 servings for every man, woman, and child. But be forewarned, in many places this is a greasy meal. Across the English Channel of France, folks consume more cheese than any other country in the world. Typical French man or woman eats close to 60 pounds of cheese a year. Whoa! Double the average American. And what good is all that cheese without a little wine? French adults down 13 gallons of wine per person. To Russia, land of borscht, traditional beet soup full of meat and vegetables. And here's something you might not know. During the Cold War, the CIA recovered a Soviet-issued cookbook from a Russian ship. The agency quickly classified the borscht recipe, fearing the wording might include encrypted messages from Moscow. The ingredients did contain one top secret, the unconventional addition of bacon to the traditional soup. In China, one of the fastest growing tourist regions in the world, the cuisine varies greatly from region to region. Many national favorites you know, but China is also famous for some unusual dishes: deep fried scorpions, frogs, pig's ears, even dog meat. The scorpion dish can be sautéed. Yum. Here at home, a recent survey by the Harris Operation asked Americans, if you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Pizza was the answer. Back after this. Millions of Americans have been diagnosed with cancer or a serious illness. If you are one of them and money is a problem, you're not alone. It's simple. If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, then Life Guide Partners can evaluate your coverage for free to see if you qualify for cash now when you need it the most. Be ready to take down this number. If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more and you are living with a serious illness, then Life Guide Partners can evaluate your coverage free to see if you qualify for cash now. So write this number down: 1-888-GUIDE-50. Totally free to call. Get rid of those insurance premiums. Stop paying them. Consider turning that life policy into cash. The number again, 1-888-GUIDE-50. 1-888-484-3350. 1-888-GUIDE-50. Call now. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.